Napa Valley is home to over 400 wineries. That's an intimidating number when you're trying to plan your own trip to wine country. My quest is to visit every single one of them and to bring you along. Today we're going to Pine Ridge, Chateau Montelena, and Frank family. Yes, again, but you'll see why. All right, let's go. Pine Ridge is located just at the southern part of the Napa Valley off of the Silverado Trail in the Stag's Leap district. The first thing I noticed as we approached was that it was nestled in between these two little hills, and sometimes they offer hiking tours of the hills as well. They have a beautiful outdoor space, and this is where you will taste if you have minors with you. Just off to the left, they have an exploration vineyard where we can learn about the different vines and growing seasons and pruning techniques. This time of year we went, it was early spring and bud break was just happening and there were bees and beautiful flowers everywhere. Bud break is when the vines first start sprouting their stems and leaves, and this happens in the early spring. You may have seen their most notable wine or most popular wine, the Chenin Blanc Viognier, in your grocery stores. That's how I first found out about Pine Ridge, and it's a really interesting white if you're into those sorts of things. You might also be seated here if you choose a standard tasting, but for our experience today, we wanted to do the cave tasting, and I did not regret a minute of it. Our host was very knowledgeable about the winemaking process, and one of my favorite things to learn was about the toasting of the inside of the barrels. You can see it goes here from heavy or dark toast and then kind of gets progressively lighter, and these are imparting different characteristics to the wine depending on the toast level. And a lot of coopers will mark on their barrels what kind of toast is on the inside. I don't know why I can't hold a camera level, and I swear I had only had like the 1 or 2 ounces just to get through the caves at this point. But anyway, here's the caves. Such a vibe. Right along this natural wall is where we did our tasting, and at our place they had a map that outlined where all of the different vineyards for Pine Ridge were located within Napa Valley. Our tasting came with a little cheese plate that paired perfectly with and changed the characteristics of each of the wines that we were drinking, and we got to compare different districts and AVAs, and it was just a really neat experience. It's on these days, especially when we're just kind of driving through the valley and down these amazing streets, that I still am in awe of the beauty of where we live, and so grateful to be here and happy to share it with you. So thank you for being here. Next, we're going to visit Chateau Montelena, which is located in the northern part of the valley in Calistoga. If you're familiar with the movie Bottle Shock, which if you haven't seen it and you love this area or you love wine, I would highly recommend watching it. You'll recognize this facade from the movie. Basically, in the 1970s, there was a blind taste testing of wines in just outside of Paris. It's called the Judgment of Paris. And these very educated, very well-known wine experts in Paris blind taste tested reds and whites. No spoiler alerts here about the movie's ending, but that Judgment of Paris is what put Napa Valley on the map in the winemaking world. The grounds surrounding the chateau are just stunning, and this is the walk up to the main building where we had our tasting. Tracy and I went to explore this winery with my brother and sister-in-law, and we got sat in this room with a bunch of other people, and our tasting was very focused on exploring different ages of the wine and how things change with age. At the end of our tasting, they invited us to kind of explore more of the grounds, which were stunning. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite spots here. As we enjoyed these spectacular views at Chateau Montelena, I wanted to take a moment to just thank you for being here. Thank you for your time and your attention. They're our most precious commodities, and I do not take them for granted. If you find any enjoyment in my videos at all, I would really appreciate a subscribe, maybe a like, I don't know, whatever. I celebrate every single subscriber. I am not kidding. I appreciate you so much. Our last visit was to Frank Family, and yes, I know that I've already talked about Frank Family Vineyards here in another video, but we did a different experience. And it just goes to show you that even at the same winery, if you choose a different experience, you're gonna have a totally different, experience. This was a savory macaron flight. I've never had a savory macaron. I couldn't even wait to film it. I took a bite. These pairings were phenomenal. I had this total ratatouille moment where the wine and the food, the macaroon, just exploded and everything tasted different and better and more amazing. And that is basically my goal in life, is to find those ratatouille moments at wineries and restaurants. And we just had the best time. I'll link my playlist that has all the other wineries that we've toured so far, and I'll keep adding to them as we go. It's going to take a while to get to all 400 vineyards, but I'll do it.